Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 22nd. We're going to jump right in here. You have this adventure card and this compassion card. Very adventurous time. I think everybody should be going on adventures right now. You even have the world. So I think it's a great time to adventure. Really, I think the universe is trying to get us to experience variety, or to, get us to create variety in our lives so that we can have more options, right? And so these adventures don't even have to be, like travel. These could be adventures that you go on in your mind just by, learning something new, or, it could just be you exploring a new idea or a new topic. And I think all that would be very good for you at this time, Capricorn. I wouldn't worry too much about the tower. Everybody's had the tower again, and so every time this happens, there's like some sort of global tower moment. And yeah, we're in a time of global tower moments, and I don't know, I've been talking about it for years, so you shouldn't be surprised, right? Your first row is going to represent your current general energies. You have the World, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Wands. The other thing that to pay attention to here, Capricorn, is that the World, Eight of Wands, and the Tower can all represent a move. So if you're moving, or if you're thinking about moving, then there you go. You could just be moving with this energy, or entering into a new reality. It can also just represent making moves. I kind of get that feeling for you. You have a lot of big move cards. This, Eight of Wands, Tower, Ace of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Eight of Cups as well. These would all be cards of kind of like making some sort of big move in your life this week. So I feel a lot of you could be doing that. On top of all that, this is your card. Capricorn, the world is Capricorn. So I feel a lot of you are just showing up in a strong position. Whenever you show up as yourself in a reading, it means that you're in a position of power and strength. I also feel that there could be an accomplishment. The thing is with the Tower here, this could be you like taking someone's crown. This type of energy here, sorry, didn't want to do that. Down to the Ace of Wands. This could say, like, if you're, let's say your manager's quitting or getting fired, it's like that might actually be an opportunity for you to take their position, or to, offer yourself up for a position, especially if like someone is quitting or leaving. And that is popping into my head for work for some of you. You have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like quick success or a quick conclusion. I would do whatever you can to focus. That's really what I feel for you here, Capricorn. All those wands are pointing in one direction. So the trick with the Eight of Wands, sometimes, not always, but definitely in your reading, I feel it's saying the trick for you is to focus in one direction. That means like all your thoughts need to go in the direction of success. All your thoughts need to go towards the things that you want in life, not the things you don't want in life, right? So working on your mindset, or, working on the direction of your thoughts is going to be important. I also feel this is, like, I do get a little bit of a keep up energy here with the Eight of Wands. Not really in a bad way, but I don't even know how to describe what I'm really feeling here for you, Capricorn, other than it's saying, like, keep up. Keep up with the energy. Keep up with the, it's like you're not going to make mistakes. I'm wondering, it kind of feels like some of you, it's like that there are moves you need to make, but you could be thinking that you're not ready or you're not prepared. And I feel the Eight of Wands is saying, like, no, actually you are. You are as ready as you're going to be. You're prepared. There's nothing to worry about. So just, make those changes. You'll be a lot more, I think really this is what I'm trying to spit out. Overthinking energy, right? You have the Seven of Cups here. So it's just saying, like, you're probably overthinking things, which is slowing you down. You have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is expansion, and so this is a card that's encouraging you to expand. I feel like the whole entire reading is encouraging you to make those big moves. It's kind of like you need, like, I feel like the reading is saying you need to have more home runs in life, but to have more home runs, you have to swing the bat more, right? So it's almost like saying you need to take bigger risks or bigger challenges. And we're not talking about like dangerous risks here or anything like that. We're just, talking about like little ones, really, even though I said bigger. we're not talking about anything crazy here. And so I feel for a lot of you, it's encouraging you to do that. I do also feel pretty good about this. The Four of Wands can be your ships coming in as well. And I do feel for some of you, if you've been working hard on something, that you could be getting a result this week, or you could be seeing some results that you have been waiting for, which is good. And I will say that this eclipse in Virgo that we're having on the 21st, the day before the week starts, definitely could be bringing something in. With the world, yes, you have the Five of Pentacles. Mindset, it could be Virgo energy maybe for you, Capricorn, but, it could be that Virgo, but also I blame Pluto. Pluto's retrograde until the middle of next month, October, and there's definitely something about Pluto retrograde, especially in an air sign, Aquarius, that, especially because, it's after you, after your sign, that, but I would say for you, this could be like beliefs about your self-worth, and if I were Capricorn, and I basically am, that's what I would be working on, is more kind of like things having to do with, building your confidence, building self-worth, building a belief in yourself. But it's like you have to do things to do that. That could be where the whole kind of risk message is coming in with that Eight of Wands. That's a great way to build confidence. We take tiny little risks and build up to bigger risks in, work, business, or, any other area of your life. And by taking those risks, you build the confidence. I think that would be an excellent activity for you for years to come. Like, this is not something that you're just going to work on this week, right? And so I feel the more you build your confidence, the better. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands. Yeah, I do feel like you need a break, for sure, Capricorn. It's like you've been working hard. I feel like you are close to a goal, and some of you are needing to... I feel like you need to take a break for some of you. So it's like maybe you need a vacation, maybe you need to do something nice for yourself, right? All that would be very good for you, Cap. With the Three of Wands, you have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, like I said, Six of Pentacles is my card of planting seeds. It's like you just try a couple little things, you see what grows, you see what doesn't, then you double down on the things that are growing in your life with the Six of Pentacles. That would also be a great way to build, develop that confidence. I would also give more to things that give to you. I always say Six of Pentacles, he's giving to this person, not this person. He's giving to the person that is probably a wise investment. He's giving to the person that is going to give back to him. But this is all areas of your life. It's like sometimes, in any area of your life, you need to do things that return more energy to you, that make you feel better, that make you happy, that make you feel more confident. And that is what I would be feeding if I were you this week, is like those activities, those people, places, and things that make you feel all the good stuff, right? We're mixing things up this week. The next row is going to represent messages from your future self, and you have this love card and this cleansing card. You could be, again, definitely could be cleansing yourself. I mean, eclipse in Virgo, South Node in Virgo, all about cleansing. So anything you can do to cleanse would be a good idea. I feel you need to do more of what you love. Again, Six of Pentacles, right? You need to feed the right energies in your life to have a positive outcome, or to see more positive energy in your life, and that's what I would be working on here. So that's it. You have the Four Swords, the Tower, and the Two of Pentacles. I'm wondering if you need to cleanse a Tower moment that you've already had in your life here as well, Capricorn. There could be past Tower moments that you're still holding on to a little bit. Again, kind of makes sense with that Pluto retrograde. It could be bringing up past failures, past things that hurt your confidence, even from when you were like a child, right? And the other tricky thing that we have is Neptune and Pisces. Neptune's in Aries, but next month, basically when Pluto goes direct, Neptune officially ticks over into Pisces, right? So even though we're not there yet, it doesn't matter. We could still be feeling that energy because, technically Neptune really hasn't cleared Pisces until next year in January when it moves back into Aries. Then it won't return to Pisces for many years. We'll be dead the next time it comes back. So that's the good news, right, Capricorn? But, I would be healing those parts of yourself. Anything that hurt your confidence in the past, anything that made you feel small or whatever, it's like those are the things you could work on. Next, you have the Tower again. A lot of people have had the Tower this week again, so every time this happens, some sort of global Tower moment happens. Literally predicted last one. If you watch the Libra reading from the week of the 8th, I literally called it out. So, wouldn't surprise me if something else happens again this week. Hopefully not. I wish I was wrong about these things, but... again, we just have to pay attention. On a personal level, I feel for you that this is about accepting reality. Again, I think the trickiest thing for Capricorn, I know I always say this, but it is really important for you, Capricorn, to pay attention to, is that, Pluto going over the cusp of your sign into Aquarius. Like, yeah, it's in Aquarius. It's not going to retrograde back into Capricorn in our lifetimes. Never again. It'll be 200 and something years, right? Before it comes back to Capricorn in the first place. But what I would say here is that I think the struggle for Capricorn is holding on to something old that's secure and needing to upgrade to something new. It's like that is the challenge, right? You probably have some sort of establishment in your life that feels secure. It could be a job, career, whatever. But Capricorn is being asked to upgrade. It's like you're being asked to have more home runs in your life, is what I feel like this reading is saying. So you're going to have to like branch out. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to quit your career or quit your job, but it does mean maybe you have to upgrade, or maybe you have to try to get a raise or a promotion, or maybe you have to, do things to make a bigger impact in some way. And I feel that's a little bit of the, uncomfortable part maybe for Capricorn, because your brain is probably telling you to not mess up your security, right? And so it boils down to security for Capricorn. And the only way to actually have security in the future is to feel insecure. As weird as that sounds, right? Develop the confidence. And if you do that, good things will happen. Next, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, work hard, play hard, right? We kind of talked about this with the Ten of Wands. I feel Capricorn does need a little bit of a break or a vacation, or needs to do something nice for themselves. So I would make sure you're taking time to do that. I also feel that, again, I'm surprised like the Two of Wands isn't showing up in this reading, because I would encourage you to, like realize that something is established in your life and that you need to start building a new establishment. He's kind of trying to sit on a fence, maybe, the Two of Pentacles. He's saying like, oh, I can't really let go of this job and start my business. I have to do both at once. And I am not suggesting that you just quit your job right now. Terrible idea, for sure. But what I am saying is like, is there a deeper commitment you could make to the new thing? It's like what, how can you do it in a bigger way with the time that you have, right? And that's what I would start thinking about, because, we kind of are in the time of the Star. The Star card says, sometimes I feel, I should say, that she is just dipping her toes in the water and she's not making the full commitment to her new life. She needs to like cannonball into the deep end. She needs to go all in on something. And yes, I realize that, life, sometimes we have to have a job to support us so that we can switch over to something new or whatever. But, I would say like, what can you do to make a, bigger, deeper impact in something that you're working on? And I would start thinking about that. Like maybe you do have to make some sacrifices for a small amount of time to make that happen, right? With the Four of Swords, you have the Sun, which is amazing. The Sun makes the whole entire reading more positive. The Sun is happiness, joy, peace, good energy. It shines a light on things you need to pay attention to, for sure. So the Four of Swords definitely wants you to pay attention to kind of resting, relaxing, recovering. It might just be a good week to recover or to heal in some way. With the Tower, you have the Devil, which is also you showing up here. So again, you're showing up in a very strong position. This reading is really all about you this week, it seems, anyway. The Devil can be about releasing those bad habits or any habits that are holding you back or keeping you stuck. And I don't even think these are necessarily bad habits, which is funny. I feel, but like, I would say they're more limiting habits, things that are limiting you or holding you back. I feel that's what the reading is asking you to remove. Even the Eight of Wands, Eight of Wands I call like a slip and slide of life. Eight of Wands says we have to remove the friction as much as possible to make our life more slippery, to make things move, slide forward faster. And I would be looking at how you can create any slip and slides in your life. Like, are there areas in your life where you can make things better or simpler or more smooth, And I don't know. I'm not you, so I can't figure that out. But it's definitely something I would think about. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords. A lot of Queen of Swords energy this week. So, the eclipses can bring clarity. Eclipses can kind of shine a light on something. They can make us aware of something. I've said it before. If you read any old astrology books, some astrologers say that eclipses are like a 1-2 punch. They can, but not really in a bad way. But it can be where something happens in our life where we have to, make a change, but the change is like a blessing in disguise, kind of. And you could be getting clear on something like that in your life that would be a blessing. Next, what are we doing? Oh yeah, we're gonna look at anything you don't see coming this week. Yeah, you can't make this one up. You have this card that says take time to breathe out, right? Take a break this week for sure. You have this card. It says you can't make this up either. I didn't even see this. It says confidence is your key to success. You can't make that up, there, Capricorn. So, really, I think that's the message in the reading is do something that makes you feel confident. Sometimes we have to start with those small wins, right? So that we can have bigger wins. And I feel that is what this is saying. It's like build confidence through winning. Even if it's just a tiny little one, those things add up and over time. And you'll before you know it, you'll be winning a lot more. You have the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Seven of Cups can be about being spoiled for choice. I do feel that for you, Capricorn. I feel you have more opportunity than you realize. But again, if you don't swing the bat more, you're not going to see those opportunities. So, there is something about this reading that's asking you to take more chances, especially in work. But, it could be anything for you, Capricorn. But I would be putting yourself out there, in a bigger way, or taking more chances, speaking your mind more, getting more attention with the sun. All that would be very good for you. And, that's pretty much it. That's all I get. You have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is the only card with an eclipse on it right here. So you're definitely eclipsing something out. He is walking away from these 8 cups. And those 8 cups do provide him with something, which is kind of what we've been saying this whole time, is that, you could be leaving some sort of something that feels secure, but maybe it really isn't, or it doesn't even have to be like that. It could just be saying that there's more security somewhere else. It's like, it could be saying that, hey, you have to leave this job and go get this other one, or you have to start that business, or you have to get into that new relationship, or you have to fix your health, or whatever it is. It's going to be different for all of you. But it's saying like, there's actually more security in doing that new, trying the new thing. But again, he's walking into darkness. Some readers say he's walking towards the Nine of Cups, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know where he's going. He's just hoping for a brighter future. He doesn't actually know if he's going to find one or not. The decision he's made is to not settle. And I feel this reading is definitely saying, don't settle for limiting situations because you're meant for more. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is also out with the old, in with the new. This castle in the background is crumbling, and this is a new inspiration that's coming into your life, or already is in your life. And the Ace of Wands is a card of like growth, desire, and just good energy just in general. So, and it's also a card of starting something. So I definitely feel it's time to follow your inspirations as always and to grow. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Two of Pentacles again. So there you go. Work hard, play hard for sure. I feel that you need to balance your energies. I would like I feel like I've said this to you before, Capricorn, but I feel like let's say you have a bunch of ideas. There's probably one thing that is harder to ignore. Sometimes I feel with the Seven of Cups that it represents an energy where he's like juggling, he's trying to do too much, but there might be one idea that he has that is getting harder and harder to ignore. There might be one idea you feel more inspired by, or there might be one idea that it just keeps popping up in your head more than others. And those are the things that I would work on with the Two of Pentacles. I would put all my energy into the ideas or the directions that are harder to ignore. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune, which you have twice, which is great. A lot of people have also had the Wheel of Fortune this week. Doesn't really surprise me. Eclipses are fate, and the Wheel of Fortune is our fate, our destiny. It is your personal vision for your life. It's like where you see your life going. And so this eclipse is definitely going to, kind of change your destiny in some way. Even though this is for the week after the eclipse. Remember, eclipses can last for like 6 months after the eclipse. And so a lot of you are going to be making a lot of changes between now and like March of next year. And, they will probably change the direction of your destiny or your life. Yep, with the Ace of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. It could be a really solid opportunity. Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity that has a lot of potential. All we have to do is nurture it to get it to grow. There's a garden right here. I always say Ace of Pentacles opportunities are opportunities that we have to water, feed, fertilize. We have to give them sunlight and attention and all that other good stuff. And I would say any opportunities that are coming your way, I would definitely take them. Next, we're going to look at the good stuff here. You have this co-create card and this buy the book card. The co-create card is obvious. I mean, Pluto and Aquarius is all about co-creation. So anything we can do to work with other people is going to be very beneficial. The buy the book card, I actually do feel like something is going according to plan for you for once here, Capricorn. I feel for many years you are just too used to things not going according to plan. So again, you probably have an idea right now that will go according to plan. You have the Hangman, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Seven of Swords. The Hangman is about looking at things from a new perspective. He's hanging upside down from the Tree of Knowledge and Wisdom, and his head is glowing. He's gained enlightenment. And you could be getting answers. I'm pretty sure I said this in your mid-monthly reading, or one of the readings, maybe the eclipse readings I did, I can't remember. But one of those, I'm pretty sure you had something in those readings about getting answers that you've been looking for, or, maybe getting the information that you've needed finally. And so I feel a lot of you could be getting some information that you've needed. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Again, Wheel of Fortune, we have to double down on the good stuff, get rid of the bad stuff just as quickly. And I feel that's like the easiest thing to do with this card. I kind of feel like you're getting an answer to a mystery as well. It could be about anything, really. But if there's a mystery in your life, or if you're, trying to get to the bottom of something, then that could also be the information or the answers that you are receiving. The other thing I like about the Wheel of Fortune is this snake right here. Snakes are guardians of portals. Circle cards are portal cards. You have two. You have the World and you have the Wheel of Fortune twice. You also have the Ace of Pentacles, which actually has a portal right here to those mountains in the background. So sometimes, we have to face a fear to get something we want. And, definitely something that could be coming up for you. It's probably not a real fear. These aren't dangerous fears, like, is what I'm talking about. This isn't like handling a venomous snake, right? It's not like that type of fear. It's like the fear of not being good enough, the fear of speaking up with the sun or getting attention, right? And those are the fears I would face. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords and the good stuff, number one, wants you to have more fun. We have these polka dots on his cloak. Polka dots in the tarot represent taking things too seriously, needing to have more fun, needing to enjoy yourself more, needing to do things that you enjoy more, and that's basically what I would do with the Seven of Swords. Also, he is stealing those swords from an army in the background, so it kind of represents going to war, but in a different way. So, it's a very good energy to get with the Fool, because you could be being shown other ways of doing things in life that could lead to success. With the Hangman, you have the Judgment card. Judgment is like a wake-up call. I really like readings with the Tower and Judgment right here, because this kind of changes the meaning of the Tower. The two cards together I consider to be the most powerful combination in the tarot, and it just represents like a major wake-up call, a major revelation when you get these two cards together, or like a sudden understanding. So a lot of you could be kind of like gaining some, it seems to me like you're having like a huge light bulb moment this week, and that could be leading to, a change in your destiny, which would be good. One thing I will say, by the way, about this eclipse, again, I don't want to put too much pressure on people, but, the eclipse, it's sometimes we can have these like fleeting inspirations where we feel excited about something and then we don't do it, which is not what we want. We want to do the thing that we're thinking about, right? And so don't allow your ideas to like lose steam, especially if you're focused on one thing. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Two of Cups. Yeah, like a little bit of love here if you want it. Two of Cups can be a perfect match. Two of Cups is usually a person who's different than your usual type in some way, but definitely could be a love connection. Two of Cups usually starts as communication, so it could be a person that you're talking to, or a new person that you're meeting. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Temperance card. This is like the secret sauce of the energy between now and 2033 with Uranus and Gemini. And especially with that Seven of Swords, right? The Seven of Swords is about doing things in a different way. The Temperance card is about mixing two ideas together. I've been talking about this for years, that we are in a time where mixing two seemingly different ideas together is something that will lead to a lot of success. And, one of my favorite books of all time is by James Altucher, and it's called Skip the Line. And in that book, he talks about idea sex, which is like two ideas that come together that seem different, but, can work together. So don't be afraid of like mixing it up, or, mixing up your ideas, or, trying different things, right? And that's what I would do with that card. But let's see. You have this Moon card, says changes in your life. Obviously, we see a lot of change in this reading. Sorry, I messed up this deck over here. But, again, there are a lot of changes. Probably a change in your destiny as well. You have this wheel that says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. I think I said this to you in your last reading as well, Capricorn. It doesn't matter where you start right now. If you have a million ideas with that Seven of Cups, just get started. Because, I think sometimes we have a lot of ideas. We don't get started on something because we want to pick the right idea. But, again, we have Neptune retrograde. And one thing about Neptune retrograde is we have to get inspired. So we should just pick one thing and start, because we will be inspired to the right thing if we just get started. And, I know that's confusing, but there you go. You have this dagger. It says fears, worries, tense situation. I would definitely I think everybody needs to work on their emotions right now, especially with that Virgo eclipse. So, we could be worried about things that are just going on in our lives or emotionally, and we should just work on those emotions. You have this older woman. It says dealings with relationships with an older woman. You have this dogs card. It says getting together with friends. Yeah, it's really a great time to focus on those relationships that support us, that lift us up. So focusing on those things could be very beneficial. You have this broken bridge. It says unsuccessful outcome to a problem. I feel like this is saying it's not the end, though. I think Capricorn, it's like how you start is not how you are going to finish. That is like the mantra for Capricorn, although I don't know if that's a good mantra or not. But also I feel you should be comfortable with it, because you are being led in the right direction. So if something doesn't work, just try something else, right? But this looks pretty good, Cap. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.